Hey everybody, it's Brandon, the Weekend Cruiser, where I go on a weekend cruise just about every weekend and wanted to do a special room tour for all of you. I know you've asked a lot about the staterooms up on the 11th floor beside of the solarium, and guess where I'm at? I am right beside, or going to give you a room tour of what one of those rooms looks like. So this hallway, I'm going to say, you'll see the main solarium is right there. So as soon as you walk out of this room, this is going to be stateroom 1106. You're going to be right there where all the action is. There are only 4 staterooms in this hallway. So this hallway itself is going to be very, very quiet. When you walk out towards the solarium, you're definitely going to feel the heat from those sliding doors opening up, but that's not going to affect your room at all. So I wanted to give you a quick tour of what the staterooms on the 11th floor look like. They are completely different than any other staterooms on this ship. And as always, if you like this content and want to learn more about Royal Caribbean's weekend sailings, especially the freedom of the seas here, make sure that you're sailing on into that subscribe button down below to stay up to date on all things Royal Caribbean. All right, welcome to stateroom 1106 on the 11th floor of the Freedom of the Seas. As I mentioned, this room is very different than anything else on the ship because it is brand new. They took out some space in order to build more revenue generating staterooms, and this is it. So this is a brand new style room that I wanted to make sure I showed you all, because if you're booking this, it is much different. So here is the entrance. You do have the traditional junior suite bathroom to your left, and then to the right you're going to have the walk-in closet. I say it's traditional because there's a bathtub in it, but it is not a traditional room by any stretch. One thing to note in this room, the doors are very, very heavy. They're brand new, so even you can see the designs of the hooks up there are more modern. You're going to see more modern touches. That's going to carry through to the bathroom. The wood there is brand new. The other tours you've seen me do, we have the mirrors that open up in the corners. That is not the case for this bathroom. Everything has a very contemporary feel and vibe to it. To me, it definitely looks more sleek. It looks more stylish. It looks a little bit more narrow as well. As I look at it, you see they kept the storage down below. If you want to forget something, I always recommend storing things down there. And you've got a little bit of storage to your left, but it's more open storage. But you do have the bathtub. As a note, please don't trip over the bathtub. I always call that out. It is a bigger jump than you think. And down at the bottom, there's a ledge of about 3 inches that you want to make sure you're always stepping up for as well. This is a different feature for this ship as well. You see this more on the modern ships, but if you take this key card out, things start to turn off in the room. You want to make sure that you always have a card in there if you want your air conditioner to work, your lights and outlets to work. That has to be in there. It is an energy saving device. I don't think that most people use it. They normally just leave something in there all the time. And the setting for the air conditioner and heating is a little bit different. It's more digital. The other ones that you know are the turn knobs. So just something to call out. If we pan back over to the actual closet, and I need to find the light switch. The light switch is inside for this one. That is something new. It is more shallow than the traditional junior suite. So junior suites that you've seen me do videos of the past have a very extensive walk-in balcony. This still has plenty of storage space over on the left and a little bit of hanging space here. There is another bar down below for a low rack that you can pull out if you want to hang more short stuff, but it's not that really large closet that you may be accustomed to. The other thing that strikes me when you walk into this room is there is a sea of wood and cabinets. So that's a little overpowering to me personally. The room is also a little dark, so I'm filming about 8 o'clock at night. Was the earliest or the only time I really could get in here. But it is a little bit on the dark side too, with not that much lighting for this room. But there's plenty of storage. So if you're used to a traditional junior suite, I would say this room may have more storage, but it's differently arranged. There is the chiller that I do not recommend people use. This one looks a little bit newer, so maybe it works better. But for the most part, I don't recommend using those if you don't need to. As a junior suite, it's also going to come with the Lavazza coffee maker. It is directly on the desk. You all know that I love Using the desk in my stateroom, especially the ones that face and look out towards the water if I'm looking in the mirror, this one looks back at the bed. So it's not that nice ocean view that you're going to get for people that use it for a makeup station. It's also going to be a little bit crowded, and you're going to have to find somewhere to put the coffee maker. Thinking about plugs for this room, I know that is always a popular question. Behind the Lavazza coffee maker, you can see that they have additional plugs in this room. So you're gonna have 2 US plugs, 3-prong. You're gonna have 2 USB prongs, and then you're gonna have 1 European prong as well. So you do get a little bit more access to electrical outlets because you've got the 2 USB ports in this room, which is fantastic. Add that together with the USB port that is still on the phone, and you've got 3 total USB ports plus the 2 outlets. This room is rocking with the ability to charge electrical devices. The other cabinets that are here, again, very good size when it comes to the cabinets. They did not skimp on storage. If you were going on a transatlantic or staying on the ship for 14 days, this would be an awesome stateroom with all the various storage, additional drawers here where you can store items. You've got the TV, which I'm hoping will pull out and angle towards the bed. It does, which is a nice feature, and they store your wine glasses up above. So plenty of storage in here. If I was thinking of a place, I mean, that coffee maker kind of bothers me sitting over there. If I was wanting to store it somewhere, I probably would put it directly in front of the TV. I mean, I'm not really seeing a great spot or place to put that. You do have a chair over here in the corner. You probably could pull that out a little bit if you wanted to, but I'm surprised there's not an actual glass table or something on the floor that would allow you to use it as a coffee table, store a couple of other items. That's a surprise to me. You've got your 3-seater couch over here. This does pull out as well. So if you're looking to sleep 4 people in this room, 3 or 4 people, this room will be able to accommodate that because this couch does pull out. However, it is missing the divider. So if you know the other rooms that I've toured, there's always this odd curtain that's in the middle. I think that curtain is there to block the view to the couch. That is missing in this room. So if you really value that curtain and having other people in your room, you are not going to have that in this cabin. There are 2 nightstands. They are the same kind of nightstands you're going to find in the other rooms, but with that modern take and twist on them that this room is going to have. Same with the lights that bookend the bed. They're more contemporary, more modern. They look really good. I like the look of this room. It's a little dark. I also, in looking at it, feel like the ceiling here is a little bit lower. So I don't know if you can see my reflection in the window there, but I am easily able to touch the ceiling. I don't know if that's just the design of the room. My cabin might have the same exact ceiling height on it, but I feel like this one's just a little bit short. From here, you have a beautiful balcony outside, and it too is very different, but the door is brand new. So this thing is sealed very, very well. Getting out requires true muscle. To pull this door, to unlock it, and to slide it, it takes a little bit of heft. But once you're outside, it's a beautiful, beautiful balcony. As you can see, the balcony out here on this cabin is also much different. It's gonna have more glass than you're used to. So you've got it on the lower section, you've got it on the upper section, and the middle is what's actually going to be open. You are gonna have plenty of space out here. It is a large balcony, but you do need to know what's on the other side of this wall here. That is a maintenance. There's a couple of trash cans over there. It's not going to be that much of an issue. You're going to hear noise over there and knowing that a little bit of work is going on, but it's not that big of an issue, I don't think. On the other side, you're going to have more cabins. So this is the first room on the 11th floor. So all the cabins go this way, and there's only a few if you'll remember. But there's a few cabins down there, but noise-wise, it's not that bad. I actually feel like because this is so far forward that I really hear the sound of the ocean coming up, more so than it does in my cabin where I'm staying on the 9th floor, but that noise is really somehow echoing up here. That's another thing to mention is there's a lot of metal here, so the ceiling's gonna be a little bit higher if you can see. but it echoes out here. So if you're having a conversation, chances are your neighbors are going to be able to hear everything that you say. It can happen on a normal balcony, but I think here, because of the echo, it's going to be even more magnified. So let's talk about my overall thoughts on stateroom 1106 on the 11th floor of Freedom of the Seas. It is a junior suite, but it is much different than a traditional junior suite. And overall, it's got some highlights to it, but I'm not sure that it is the stateroom for me. And there's a few reasons why I say that. It is the person that I think that this room is really targeted to is going to be somebody with a mobility issue who doesn't want to walk a lot. It is very close to the elevators. It is steps away from the solarium. It has a lot of space to walk around. The space between the couch over here and that other chair is massive. There's plenty of room to move around in the stateroom. The only thing that doesn't really make it accessible is probably the bathroom. That's the main place you're going to find. But if it's just a walking issue that you have, this is going to be a prime location. My other thoughts to it on things that I just don't like, it feels a little dark to me. The ceiling felt a little bit lower, and the balcony is actually an issue for me. It is a beautiful balcony. It is a large balcony, but I like the traditional balcony where it's more open and I don't have that glass panel up above. I think that that's something that would not appeal to me. I'm also not a huge fan of this huge wall of cabinets over here. It's going to have more storage than your traditional. So if you want storage space, this is the room for you. And also that little dinky desk over there with a lot of lavazza hiding all of your outlets with really no good place to go is also another issue for me. I do like making coffee, and to make it, you got to put it there beside of your outlet, and you're always going to be moving it. So it's for those reasons that I think that this room is not for me, but it does have some positives that you may want to consider for your trip on Freedom of the Seas. All right, thanks for listening in, everyone. If you have stayed in this room, let me know down in the comments below if you really like the Junior Suite 1106, and hopefully I'll get to see you on a weekend cruise soon. Thanks, everyone.